So we have ran into our first issue with the old shop truck since we put this new motor in it. As you can tell, it's missing a little piece right here. And that's because I was driving home from work one day and kept hearing this metal on metal sound. I couldn't figure out what it was. I looked all over the truck for a couple days. Finally, I went out, popped the hood, and was looking at it. For some reason, I just was like, I'm gonna grab this fan and see if it's loose for some reason. So I grabbed it, and that's when I discovered the old water pump was going out. I don't know how well you're gonna see it, but switch over here. I'm sure you guys can hear that, but this thing's pretty wore out and shot. Usually when they start going bad, they start leaking out the bottom here. This one never leaked, so anyways, 35 bucks at old O'Reilly's got me a new one, so we're gonna throw it in there. I got the right gaskets, then I also have the right gaskets. So this thing well, it shouldn't leak, so we'll see. But tomorrow we got we got a pretty decent trip to do with it. We're got a bunch of people coming over, meeting up here in the morning. We're going to go down to Fairborn, Ohio. It's a big car show, white trash and white walls. I think there was 750 cars there last year, maybe even 800. I can't remember what they said, but it's a show me and a group of friends go to every year, and I plan on taking a pretty decent group that's never been this year. So Mason's coming, he's never been. I'm hoping our buddy Sean's coming. This trip's definitely going to test some of these cars. Definitely the 55. 55, this will be the longest trip 55's done since the LS swap. I think he said he's put about 100 miles on it total. I know he said he drove it to work the other day. Everything seems to be doing okay. Well, I got the water pump changed on this thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and give her a bath. She likes to get this, I don't know if it's what it is, like a moss or something grows on it all the time. Wash it off. It gets really bad back here. About once a year I gotta go through and wash it off, but went to get an engine the other day, ended up losing the back piece of my tonneau cover, so I'll go ahead and pull the rails off. I wasn't able to find one. So yeah, we're gonna give it a bath, and then we're gonna give it the old linseed oil. Stuff works pretty good. If it sits inside, it'll last a while. The last time I did it, it sat outside the ever since I did it, and it probably lasted 2 months or so. But I like to put it on there once a year. As you can tell, this paint is, I mean, that's where I rub my fingers. So give it a bath, put the linseed oil on. I usually just put it on a rag, do one body panel at a time, and let it sit for like 1 or 2 minutes, just so it kind of starts getting a little tacky, and then I wipe it off. One thing you don't want to do is leave it on too long. You leave it on too long, then it's going to be sticky, like the panel's going to be sticky. And the first time I did it, I messed up and did it right where your arm sits on the outside of the door. And the stuff really doesn't smell the greatest. So every time I drove the truck, not only did my arm stick to the door, but then my arm smelled like linseed oil for the rest of the day. So if it's something you're gonna try, just make sure, like I said, just put it on, minute, maybe 2 minutes max, wipe it right back off, and it definitely gives it a way darker shine. And looks a lot better than this faded blue. And every time you touch it right now, the blue sticks to your fingers. So I'm too cheap to clear cut this thing too. Like I said, it's just a shop truck, so linseed oil will do the trick for now. So I got the truck all washed up, and I've already put the linseed oil on. I would suggest wearing gloves, and That means a lot coming from me because I don't wear gloves for anything, but it really makes your hands feel pretty nasty when you're done with it. But anyways, I washed the truck with just some Dawn dish soap and got all that black stuff off of it. And we're gonna just use some boiled linseed oil, like I said earlier. I'm gonna do just half this hood so you guys can see the difference in it. But once I put it on, when I wipe it off, once I wipe it the second time, that's the way it stays. So I'll let you guys see it in the morning too after it's sat all night just to show you. But you don't need to put a whole bunch on. Put too much on, then it starts becoming a mess. So you can put this stuff right over your trim and everything. That's what I do. I even do the rear bumper and the front bumper. So it makes window seals look, brand new again. And it lasts quite a long time, really. But man, does this stuff doesn't really, I mean, it's not terribly stinky, but it definitely doesn't smell good, I can tell you that. I wouldn't want to wear this cologne, but yeah, just put your nice thin coat on just like that. Yeah, I'll do part of this so you don't get an illusion on the body line. But just put it on evenly, wipe it in. Like I said, I let it sit for about, I don't know, a minute, maybe two. It just starts feeling a little tacky on the back side of the glove. I usually pull it off, and I use a totally different new rag. So I have one rag that I use to do the linseed oil with. I use a different rag just to wipe up afterwards. All right, so now it's been on here for a little bit, about 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off the excess, which I don't think there's gonna be a lot because this paint was pretty dried out. But it soaked it up pretty well. But you just gotta go back through, wipe off the excess. Like I said, if you don't get all the excess stuff off, then everything's gonna stick to it. And well, I mean everything. Bugs, them little things that float around in the air from weeds and everything just stick to it, and they do not want to come out. So let's go ahead and take the time, wipe the stuff back off. Next year, I hope to try some sweet potato. I have a buddy that tried it out on his C10 and it turned out really nice. So I'm hoping next year to order some of that stuff. But for I think it was like $21 for that, this whole container of linseed oil. And I've done this truck this will probably be the 4th time I've done this truck. And I mean, it's not even, I bet it's 3/4 of the way full still. So it definitely lasts a while. So definitely darker. I did this body line to about right there with linseed oil, so you can really see the difference. And then like it's dry to touch. Cheap, easy way to get a little shine out of that old paint again, and really makes the color dark. So I'll go ahead and finish up the rest of this truck. It's about 9 o'clock, so I need to get this thing done and get some sleep. Everyone's gonna be over here probably about by 7 in the morning. So, well, it's the next morning. I figured I'd show you guys what this thing looked like real quick before we hit the road. But this is totally dry. I got done doing it about 9:30 last night. It is now about 6:45 in the morning, but here's the finished product. You can tell the difference in the bed. All right, I didn't do this. But top of the bed rails are done. Tailgate's done. I think it looks a lot better. Definitely darker. Looks like it's wet, which, I don't know, it always looks better when it's wet. So, and now I'm gonna go fill it up with gas and wait for everybody to show up, so. Well, we all made it. So, no issues. Cummins.